Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. And today I want to talk about the top 5 CNFT projects of the prior week. First, I like to jump into volume because volume really does tell a lot of stories. What's happening with the CNFT market and where can we see it really going? Now, I used to show all of the 24-hour, 7-day, 30-day, and that really doesn't matter. I don't care really myself. And I don't think other people do either. So getting into the volume, you had a few spikes over here. So we had June, towards the end of June, and then towards the middle beginning of July, we had a few spikes here between the 7th and the 15th. Now in August, you're having a little bit less volume, and usually in August, you're going to have less volume overall, like in traditional finance and crypto. So it's okay. It's not really a bad thing. You do have some newer projects minting out, which is a good and a bad thing. You know, the one of the best things about the NFT market is that anyone can start a project. That's also the worst thing, that anyone can start a project. Twitter Spaces, kind of the same way, different note, but anyone can start a Twitter space. Good, anyone can start a Twitter space. Bad. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. Let's get into the top 5. Yeah, that number. Uh, so number 1 is EarthNode, followed by the Ape Society. None is a collection by OreMob. I had to look that up really quickly. Wild Ones and Clay Nation. So those are very interesting. Wild Ones are right at their mint price. I'm not sure where these guys minted at. I really just didn't care to look it up. I don't really want to own one, but I'll give you my analysis nonetheless. So let's get into everything. EarthNode, number 1. EarthNode, I like EarthNode. World Mobile is jumping onto the bandwagon of going multi-chain. And multi-chain, just like starting an NFT project, is a good thing and a bad thing. And it's really dependent on the team itself. You know, is the team pushing out for a good reason? Is the team pushing out for not really a good reason? I haven't looked that up. The World Mobile team have done a lot of good partnerships. So judging by that, I would think that their multi-chain is a good move. I know there's been a lot of FUD lately just talking about telecom in general. And again, it's the team behind it. You know, you have some people that can take a telecom company to zero, and it's not hard to do, but then others that can actually produce something of substance. So, you know, the jury's definitely out on that. I think that World Mobile has done the right steps, at least from what I'm seeing. I haven't done a deep dive, so, you know, that's not there. But as far as what I've seen with the partnerships, and you know, they've done a pretty decent job. If we go down here, you can see that EarthNode has just jumped. So something's happening over there. I don't quite know what it is because I'm not in their Discord. I haven't done any research, but something's obviously happening. Price usually does speak, and that's one of the reasons that I never really cared about Tab Tools Pro. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're smart at utilizing it. So just because you see a price spike doesn't always mean a positive thing, but I would think in this case, it does mean something's happening over there. There's definitely some interest in 124,000 floor, 124,000 ADA floor. That's nothing to scoff at. You know, your normal people aren't just going to go in on 124,000 NFT unless there's really something to gain. So that's why I think definitely something happening over there. I've always liked EarthNode, World Mobile. So even though I don't know a ton about it, it's looking pretty good. Let's see. I would say that 100, 110,000 could be a decent floor, followed by, yeah, I'd say 100, 110,000. That's going to be your big levels to watch, your big zone. And if it does break that, then, you know, watch out. It can come back down to 60, 80,000 fairly quickly if that does occur. But if it holds it, that means the buyers are really backing themselves up, and it can start to turn into something. Don't expect a huge gain. It's already 124,000 floor, but it's looking interesting, and people are starting to take notice. So that's EarthNode is our #1 project. Next is the Ape Society. Like them or hate them, they're doing a fairly good job. 250,000 all-time high sell. Floor price is at 45.90. And I was looking at this the last time I did this video, which I'm not as consistent as I want to be, but I'm trying to change that. So the last time I looked at them, they were above 5,000, and I was talking about seeing them maybe drop, and they have. And it's just the market that we're in. Everything's really struggling right now. You have a couple pockets of strength, but a lot of struggle right now. It's just the market that we're in. And where can we see Ape Society? I think last time I was talking about a 4,000 support. If it did break that, then it could go down to 2,500. That's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting it to hold 4,000, but we'll have to wait and see. Everyone talks about how the Ape Society is a strong community, but you do have a lot of people selling. Obviously, a lot of people sold here, and you have some buyers met by sellers here. So, it's definitely a little bit choppy. However, it's not a great market either. So, I mean, you have to say that. So what is it going to do? I'm thinking 4,000 support. Over 4,000, I'd say 4,500 should be a good level actually. But if it does break that, just know 4,500, 4,000, 2,500. Those are my predictions. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with Ape Society. It would really have to break over 5,000, 5,500, and then 6,900. Those would be levels I would want to see break above if it's going to start to do something. So that's really what I'm looking for with the Ape Society. Next, None. This is the OreMob collection. They minted, the numbers are off between CNFT, Open CNFT, and JPEG Store. So, I mean, who knows? But anyway, they have a 13,000 all-time high sell, which is pretty good actually, and 56 floor price. So the floors are really getting kicked around right now. So they minted over here on the 26th of June, and the floors have just been kicked around. However, 13,000 all-time high sell. Let's look at the activity real quick on this one. And let's see, where do you guys show price? Oh, these are prices. 525 ADA, 300 ADA, 170, 100, 105, 300, 500. So just about the majority of these, around 90%, are over floor price. And now that I'm scrolling down, it's less than 90%. That's great. So about 75, 80%. But that's pretty good actually. That's what you want to see. You want to see over 50%, but way over 50, like 70, 80%, that's pretty good. So they're, people are liking this collection. Usually in a collection, the rares get bought up first, and then the floor starts to rise. So if you believe in this project, this is not a bad area to get in. Obviously, 20 is better than 56, but it's kind of pinching pennies if you think it's going to do well, especially when you have the rarer ones being bought up for over floor price. So that's pretty good. That's my analysis on that. I don't really know anything about the project, but judging by price, it's actually people want to be in it. Wild ones. This is a conundrum. Now in my Discord, I told people I was not minting this, and I did not think it would do very well. It started getting hype, some hype, and I was talking about the hype. If it gets a little bit more, it could be a good flip, but it really just fizzled out. If you go down here, number 1 holds 114 NFTs, and then 2 through 5 hold 33, 28, 25, and 24. So it's a little disparity there. So you have one holder that holds a ton, and then everybody else does own a little bit. Let's check out the wallets really quickly just to kind of go over that. So 24, 20, let's see, let's go to 10. So 29 wallets hold 10 or more. 29 wallets hold 10 or more. I know their magic number was 5. They said you had to hold 5 to be a part of the platform that they're building, which I don't see that much benefit in myself. That's my thoughts, so take it for what it is. 86 wallets hold 5 or more. So 86 wallets will be able to access that platform right now. Let's look at 4, so 87 down to 109. So what's that, 22, 23 wallets? All they have to do is add one more, and then they'll have access to that platform. So, is this a project that people are really hyped on? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Now, the founder, he was in the Frog Collective, and he was basically doing what he's trying to do with Wild Ones, which is basically just be like a news organization, like just keep up with the news of various projects. For me, I could really care less because it doesn't help me at all. Just keeping up with news, it's not really helpful in my opinion. I don't want to say anything negative about the project because I don't really know that much about it. I just know what they're planning to do and how it pertains to me personally. So that's what I try to do with these videos. I give my personal thoughts and take it for what it is. All-time high sell 3,000, and I always talk about below 10,000. Usually you have somebody that just wants to buy a one of one. Over 10,000, that's when I start to look at stuff and say, okay, well, someone's really putting out some ADA here. They're really interested, especially if more than one person does put out that much ADA. So that's kind of the cutoff that I look for. Obviously, everybody has their own way to look at things, but that's what I look for. So right now, it's kind of meh, I guess would be the way I would say it. But I'm curious to see what they actually do. So next, Claynation. Claynation, 100,000 all-time high sell, which is pretty cool. 1896 floor price, which has dropped a little, but like I've been saying the whole video, it's a struggle bus right now. Projects are struggling. It's difficult. So if you're here building something legit, and I have to say building something legit, then that's a good sign. And I say legit because there are some people that just put out multiple projects and they don't really follow through on anything. You don't really give value, and that's what I mean by legit. People that give value. Now you've gotten value from most of these projects that I've talked about today, and that's a good thing. You're here in the bear market, you're building, you're providing value. That's what we want in the CNFT space. We don't want projects to just take, and then there's not really any value. Claynation, I believe, does provide value. So we can look here. The floor has been very pathetic, but most floors have been. Like we looked at Ape Society. This downturn coincided with their downturn, and now they're having a hard time. 1875 over here, and now they're starting to break below that. So that's very, very interesting. That 1500 level is going to also be interesting. And prior to this run up here, I think they got down to 1250, if I'm not mistaken. This was in January. So I was over here. That's when I got in. So 1230 was the low, 1200 was the low there. And then over here in the 900s, that's amazing. That was a really good deal. As it drops here, I'm thinking 1500 might be that point that actually supports. But like if Ape Society breaks their first level I was talking about, you could see clays down around 1,000 ADA, which would be a time to start snapping them up. But right now, I'm thinking 1,500 could hold. You still want to keep an eye on 1,800 because 1,800 could be a level. So 1,800, 1,500, 1,000. If it gets down to 1,000, it's probably going to get slightly below, but that would be a time to start snapping them up to hold for about a year for like 2x, 3x gain. But that's what I'm seeing right now. What have I personally done? Haven't really done too much. I've been working on my project, talking with my team and my community. We're giving away some toolheads whitelist only for holders, so I'm pretty excited about that. It was, I could give them away on Twitter and try to grow the Twitter engagement, or I could just give them to the holders. The holders, the people that support alpha surfers, the people that are helping grow the community. So I wanted to give to them, and I think that is, really providing value instead of giving them to a Twitter person that probably isn't in the project and they just want a giveaway. So I thought that was a good move. So I did that. I was in the option flow and Li-Fi. And option flow is they're both kind of struggling right now. And I talked about getting out, and I talked about option flow when it was, around like 120 ish, 110. I think it was around 110 actually. Talked about it going into 70 cents, and I woke up today and saw that it's literally at 70 cents. So that's interesting. And I root for every project on Cardano. I just want it to succeed because I want Cardano to do as well as it can. But to do that, the community needs to start backing projects that are actually providing value, that are actually doing something that can help the community. Anyway, that's my little rant there. I won't get into too much, but yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm building the ADA Inmates alpha group, having a ton of fun there, doing some trading, uh, making some good calls. We have a good group there that's also trading and making good calls. And then Alpha Surfers, we're continuing to grow that, and just having a great time. I'm going to link the Alpha Surfers Discord down below if you do want to check it out. We do have phase 3 coming up pretty soon, probably in a month or so. But if you want to get in and ask questions, that's how we all learn, is by asking questions. And by asking those questions, we begin to learn about people behind the questions and also get answers to those questions that we have. We're building an education hub inside the Discord, so we're going to have different strategies, DeFi tokens, staking, blah blah blah, and then different courses, options, DeFi, and of course trading for holders only. So if you do have questions, check that out. Thanks for watching the video. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around the crypto markets. Take care.